What's up, everybody? What's up? It's your boy Terrence. We are back with another episode. I got the homies Levi, Rissa, and Tam. What's up, y'all?
What's going on,
What's
guys?
up?
Good to see y'all.
We wanted good. I'm glad everyone's doing well. Hope you've been doing well in your lives. Things been going on, things that's been happening in the world have been concerning, but we're here. We're here, and we're appreciative of you guys watching us. We want to talk a little bit about Black History and what Black History Month means to us. Not so much just a month, but throughout the year, how Black History has been such an integral part of leading to where we have been able to be in America, in the in the world, and as far as our day-to-day lives, how Black history has influenced us. For me specifically, I'm very glad to be Black. I'm very proud Black American, very happy to be a Black man in America. Proud of my people, the advancements that we have given to the country, so many different things that we know about. As far as in engineering and telecom and aerospace, Black people have been a part of so many different things in this country. How are you guys feeling? What's your thoughts on Black history, about being a person who's been able to, in your own everyday lives, contribute to Black history? Anyone can go first. Okay,
All
Rissa?
right. Okay.
Oh, Tamara, go ahead, go Tamara.
Oh my gosh. Well, first I want to say that February will always be the best month of
Okay.
the year. Like
She's talking about
it
her
will be.
birthday.
I'm not just talking about my birthday. I'm talking about it being Black History Month as well. But um I'm very proud to be Black. I think that we have been set apart, which, makes us different, but in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Every
absolutely.
every every race has their, tragedies and, things of that nature, but some races have it more, right? And we've overcome so much, and to see where we are as a people, I'm extremely proud. Um and just like anything, there's more things to work at, of course, you know what I'm saying? But as being a Black woman in America, very proud of who I am, of what I represent. The soul, the love, just the compassion that I have. I love it. Um and one thing, we're talking about Black history and, political things of that nature. But one thing that I do want to say, I was with my aunt the other day, and we were talking about like segregation, right? And we fought so hard to not
Yeah.
have segregation anymore, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people being brutalized, people being killed. So many things happened just so that we would be one, we would be united. But we were talking about that, and we brought up a good point. So going back into the school system, into education, the Black history, the true Black history, is not taught in our schools.
Exactly.
The correct history is not taught. So we were saying, if the segregation, um, if that was still a thing, would we be taught the right things about our history? You know,
Right,
and
right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I thought about that heavily, and I was like, wow, if we weren't um in a united way, which what is really this united way? But you know what I'm saying? If we were still segregated and we had our own school systems and things of that nature, we probably would know so much more about truly what our people did to build this nation. We would know so much more. So I found that very interesting. You know what I mean? Just to know, like, yes, we fought so hard to be united, but did it lose its value in that? You know what I'm saying?
I totally understand what you mean with that, because I feel like a lot of stuff I didn't learn until college.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
Yep.
especially going deep into more than just Martin Luther King, more than just Rosa Parks or Harriet
Yeah.
Tubman, but
Right.
there are more people who are in the fight doing more specific things and more localized areas that you never really hear about, and it's definitely was something like you said that if we were segregated still, I feel like we would know more about, but then the rest of the country wouldn't. But see, I was watching this video of this man who was mad about Black History Month and said that we shouldn't have it, even though other
Hmm.
races have
I
their
saw
own
that too.
specific histories.
Right.
But it's like he was saying that he doesn't feel like we should. There's no White History Month, and that we shouldn't have a month where we're just throwing our history down their throats. But it's not taught. He was like, "Oh, it's taught in schools," but that's the thing. Like you
It's a
only heard
very
about.
surface
It's a
talk.
very
Yes.
surface level
Yeah.
speech.
Mhm.
It's very
Not in depth at
it's
all.
it's no in depth to it. It's not doesn't talk about what Black people it really endured. Like I feel like people now want a sugarcoated version of what really happened to Black people. Like we were slaves in this country, enslaved in this country because of a lot of ancestors in this, the people's ancestors that don't want to hear about it. you
Right.
know, like
But
your
you know,
ancestor did this, but it's not a
Yeah.
guilt trip to you. It's not. It's just. It is what it is, and just
Right.
acknowledge it. And we can definitely move on. I feel like the thing is, no one wants to just acknowledge it that happened, and
And
they
I
want to
think
act like
that's
and
the
sweep it
problem.
under the rug. That's the
Right.
problem for me.
That is the
Right.
problem because it's so. I feel like people who are not Black, they so focus on the okay, well, it happened a long time ago, but you would not tell a Holocaust survivor that. You wouldn't tell them, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't tell them that. You wouldn't tell people who, you know, who survivors of 9/11. You wouldn't tell them, oh, it
Nope.
happened so long ago. And I think
Right.
because
Pearl
the fact
Harbor.
that disbanded, right, because slavery, and it's more than just the slavery, it was the torture, it was the demeaning, it was a lot of different things that they did go through. And that's crazy because I remember watching this movie and I never thought about this. It was during the Holocaust, but what did Black people who were over in like Germany in that area during that time? Now, of course, that time it really opened my eyes to see, like, okay, at that time the people who were suffering at that point during the Holocaust, but Black people were going through it too. They were still free though, but they had to carry papers. Women had to carry papers of sterility to prove to them that they could no longer have kids, and these were young Black girls. And it's just
Yeah.
like, they had to, because the movie that I saw, I can't remember the name of it. It was on Netflix, and it just opened my eyes because her mother was white, but her dad was Black, and she obviously was Black presenting, and just to see the things that she even dealt with as being, a Black woman during that time. And
Yeah.
then, it still translates over there. Not saying that they were enslaved, they were not, but still, it still translates to us or our ancestors being second class citizens. And acknowledging
Yeah.
the fact that your ancestors were who they were does not mean
Make
that you're bad.
you
It
right.
doesn't mean that, but
Unless you are.
Right.
correct.
Unless
And
you
I think
are.
a lot of that is willful ignorance, though. I feel like a lot of it
Yeah.
is you want to forget so bad, but why? If you know you didn't do it, why do you want to forget so bad?
Because there's this push, or there's this political push to say that, and it's the craziest thing to me now, how it's been turned on our head
Mhm.
to say that talking about racism is causing us to not be unified. Like it just doesn't exist. Like Black people are making it up, or like it's
Mhm.
something that doesn't. Okay. It might be happening, but you're making it be a situation where there's no unity. And in my opinion, that's horse. But anyway, let me, before we go any further, because we're on the time limit here. Levi, what does it mean? What does the Black History mean for you? And go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're fine, man. Black history to me is definitely just acknowledging who we are. It's so much more than what is in pictures, with the Americanized version of who we are,
Mhm.
means. I feel like Black History Month is more so like an acknowledgement of our accomplishments and how far we have come, and some of those pioneers that helped us come as far as we have. Um, I do laugh a lot when people say that You know, it was so long ago, and I'm like, it was just 60 something years ago. You know, somebody who was like 60 years old. I mean, they were just
Hmm.
spraying people down with
Yeah.
hoses, and
Yeah.
people were being killed just because they walked on the wrong side of the street. Women and little kids were lying on black people, and then they would take them out back and kill them and beat them brutally.
Yep.
Yeah.
This wasn't that long ago. Many of your grandparents were alive during this time. They saw
Definitely
Right.
this.
within the last
Um,
century. Definitely.
Right. And if
Yeah.
not slavery, Jim Crow. Jim Crow and
Jim
segregation
Crow,
began in
yeah.
1968. My
That's what I was
mom is in
saying.
her 60s and she remembers visiting her grandmother and having to walk on one side of the street because
That's what I'm saying,
it
yo.
said there was a park near my great grandmother's house that was a whites only park. My mother remembers that. So
and
it's
It's
not really that
it's
long ago.
it's you know, my thing for it is not, again, like you were saying, it's not so much dwelling on
Levi
the
wasn't
past, but
finished.
acknowledging on it. But go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry.
it's okay. I feel like a lot of Caucasian people, you know, they're looking to just, you know, it's for them, it's an image. And I want to make it clear, like, if you're our Caucasian brother and sisters out there, like, it's not a thing that we hate Caucasian people. It's not any of those
Absolutely.
things. There is an acknowledgement, though, of what happened. And I feel like that we can move forward in a peaceful manner when those things are acknowledged. But the problem is that since these things have happened, it's been a constant deny. Um, when we have postcards of you guys hanging, lynching people on fire, and everybody standing in front of the person on fire with a noose around their neck, and everybody's posing like it's like you guys just went on vacation. So we can't. My thing is like we can't act like, oh yeah, we've been the most peaceful people on the planet when you've been going around the planet conquering every nation that you've been going to. You know what I mean? So like, let's stop with the fraud. Let's address what it is. I do understand, like, you know, at the end of the day, um, the beginning of his dream was wanting to see someone judge you by your character, not by the color of your skin. You know, there was a
Mm-hmm.
unifying of not wanting to see black and white and things of that nature. But I will say, at the end of uh, Dr. King's life, he started to realize that it wasn't going to matter. You know, the ways that they marched, the peaceful protests, they weren't effective at the end of the day. So as he was beginning to change his life or his stance around, that's when he was killed, because he was telling people, okay, well, it's time to just raise hell at this point. It's time to raise up and they're going to feel us. And at that point, that's when he
Yeah.
decided to end his life. And
Mm-hmm.
so these things, you know, can't be lost. These accomplishments, these movements that people are doing or did. I'm a direct descendant. I'm honored to be a direct descendant of Nat Turner. Um, and so, like, those type of people, those revolutionaries, like, they can't be lost in our history. So I think it's
At
a good
all.
thing to continue to lift them up.
Right.
And Rissa, what is, because I know we've talked and you said some things already, but what is Black history for you? What does it mean for you? What does it do for you?
It's everything. I mean, it's like Levi said, I do echo, like it's the focus and highlight of where we were and how far we have come. And just so many different things we've had our hands in like, you know, I forgot his name, but the guy who did the first heart transplant, he was a black man.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a nurse, so that kind of stuff just resonates with me. And just being proud. I mean, I'm definitely a proud black woman, even though I don't have no melanin, but it's all right. But I mean, I just feel I feel, you know, very proud to be in this. I love everything about us. I love our culture. I love our nuances. I just love being black, period. And it means a lot to me. It does.
Yeah. So for me, like going back to what Levi was saying, my issue for a lot of it when it comes to Black history and the acknowledgement of some things, it's not so much for me people who are they're dismissive. It's a lot of dismissive mindsets that go along with the things that we've gone through in this country. And I know other races have gone through things.
Mhm.
You know, specifically where I live now, there's a lot of different. I live in New York, so there's a big hodgepodge of different types of races and people from all over the world. And so a lot of people talk about what they go through. But at the end of the day, our people are the ones who have helped build up this country the most. Yeah, we are the most we're the most undervalued
We
and
benefit nothing
underpaid
from what this
people
country gives us.
in
Yeah.
this country. Like
But they use
people
us as
that
a payment.
literally when the people were in internment camps for the Japanese, they got paid something. When the people were the Holocaust survivors get paid. Like, but what
Indian.
do the descendants of slaves get? We haven't gotten any, like literally
No
nothing.
reparations at
No
all.
reparations or anything. And then to continue to deal with that, we have to deal with the redlining in the 60s and the 70s, where people, I have friends who have said, you
Yep.
guys don't, black people don't work hard, they don't do anything, or they don't try hard enough to get where they're going. And then I look at their situation. Their parents have paid for their living expenses. They've been in houses that's been in their family for generations, stuff like that, generational wealth that has been able to accumulate throughout their lifestyle. And for me, it's like, bro, you can't compare my situation to yours, because you're starting at the race literally miles ahead of me. So my race we're starting at the same time, yet you're already starting you're already starting the race miles ahead of me, because you have things set up from your family. And it's just stuff like that is what bothers me about the most about um, a lot of the situations where people kind of dismiss how we have been able to help the country so much, but we get so little in return.
Can
Um,
can I say
And
one thing? Hope?
they were forced to help.
right. Go ahead, bro.
See, the problem is that we had all those things, and when we
Yeah.
had those things, they came and burned them to the ground.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tulsa,
or those
Tulsa.
things are are in your favorite lake that you like to go canoeing on. They're at the
Yeah.
bottom of the lake. So
Yeah.
cut it out.
So many black prosperous towns have been destroyed. We have Tulsa. We have even in Seneca Village in New York. It used to be where of Central Park now. It was a prominent black village, and I try to look up the history to see exactly how they just took these people's land and made it a park. But I can't find it. I can't figure out. I've never been able to find exactly how the village was just taken and they turned it into a park, because it wasn't burnt down.
Right. And isn't Lake Lanier the village that's in Atlanta? That was a prominent black village in Atlanta.
Yep.
And about the
People keep
Lake Lanier.
Keep going on that lake.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and then the narrative of, oh well, we don't like to come together. Well, every time we have physically done this several times, and each and every time it's been violently taken away from us.
Yep.
So I mean,
it's an unfortunate thing. It's an unfortunate thing. So I will say again, going back to Black history, we are resilient people. We are resilient, and I do know that we will find a way to continue to grow and continue to become even better and even greater than what we've seen in the country. I do know people contribute. Black people are not automatically just. People think that we're bad, like we're worse than any other race.
Yeah.
When there's the other races have done some of the worst things and atrocities in the country. I mean, in the world, and it's
if
like,
you take the time to look up the history behind some racial slurs, whoa. I just want to say how proud I am of us and how we have continued to. I mean, we've gone through a lot. Literally, our ancestors crossed seas back in the day, and we lived through them. We're able to now be in a country, yes, where there are not always adequate or equal thoughts of us, or how we're paid, or how people look to hire us. They're trying to get rid of DEI, even though Black people have the most people who have gotten the most benefit from DEI are white women, but they're trying to get rid of it. It's just, to me, it's
It's the
Mhm.
craziest thing. Even like now you hear there's so many things that just doesn't make sense, right? Like there's this push now by a certain politician to say that black people have a better immune system than
Mm.
white people. And I think that's what causes too for us to deal with so much things in the medical system, because people believe that.
No,
People
people do
believe
believe
that
that.
people
They do.
they believe that our immune system is better, and so we don't have to. They don't have to get this, that, and the third for medical supplies. And I'm like,
Not
why do
only
you
do they
believe that?
think that our immune systems are better, they think that we do not feel pain. And that's why Black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth than any of our other women counterparts of any other race. And that statistic has been going on for the last at least I want to say at least since maybe like 2018. So the last 7 years, 8 years. So
That's that.
That's horrible. It's horrible.
they
It's
believe we do not
horrible.
feel pain.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And to me, that is so dangerous for us, and we have to be very vocal about. That's the thing that makes Black History Month and Black History so powerful to me, because more things are highlighted that need to be talked about.
Yeah.
The fact that there is a sitting politician who literally thinks that Black people have a better immune system or are stronger than white people. To me, how does that even make sense? They said there was a study that showed that, but I'm like,
How did they do
he's,
that
he's,
study?
I'm
Right.
like,
How did you
How
do it?
long
That's
have they
more
been
important.
studying on us?
Right.
how can you say this, and how do you compare the two?
Mhm.
Clearly, COVID should show you that we're not more stronger, because mostly Black people died in that. So,
Mhm.
so how do you still have that mindset, or still have that thought process that we're better as far as in our immunity? This is my thing. Like, the only thing that separates us really is our skin color. But when you get down to the meat, the bone and marrow, there's nothing different about us. We're all the same. But I don't know why we can't get past the skin color. It's ridiculous to me
Tim, what do you think?
how it's ridiculous. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm
What
sorry.
do you think?
Oh, I'm sorry. I agree. I agree. I was looking at the time. I'm sorry. But no, I totally agree. Like I said, it comes down to ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So um you choose what you believe in every single day that you get up. You
Yeah.
have that choice. So, I can wake up and go around hating the white man and da 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 da, but where is that going to get me? Not
Right.
nowhere,
Exactly.
nowhere at all.
Mhm.
So, we have a choice. Those who are listening, if you're not of the Black race, whatever race, we all have a choice. And like Terrence says, it comes down to the meat of it. We're the same person. We just have different skin color, but we are the same person. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's sad, and I often wonder, will we ever get over this? Will this nation ever get over this? And I I can't, honestly, in my heart, I can't say that we will, because this has been an ongoing thing for such a long time, and it's horrible.
It's got to be spiritual to an extent. Like, it's just
Oh yeah,
something
for
where it's
sure.
over.
Yeah.
It's about
There's a
love.
strong it's this strong man that's over the country that will not let it
Yeah,
go.
it's about
And
love. I'm telling
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'm
It's
telling you.
it's crazy. Like, even because even people will say that this is the thing. Like, right? I think some people think because of we're more prone to heart disease, or we're more prone to diabetes, or certain specific type things, just like other races are more prone to specific type things. But those are things that usually come with diet, right? That's not something that's inane to our genetic, but that's not something that's inane to our human being. It's just being humans. You know what I'm saying? Like, immunity is built up over where you are. Like, just like with the people, if they're from people from Africa who might be more or less, they don't have to not deal with, but their immunities can deal with malaria. I can't. My immune system can't do that because I haven't grown up in that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like
Correct.
those people have grown up in that environment, so their bodies have built immunities to those things. It's all
Right.
about location. It's not about the way where you.
Right. And your
This-
environmental factors. It has nothing to do with color.
Yeah.
Right.
It's nothing.
Exactly.
And I think
So
that's why it's so important about educating yourselves
right.
on those things, because what may appear, you have to take in every account. And so some
Yeah.
of those things are definitely a location, because there's things that we don't deal with anymore that other countries might. And I mean, that's the reason why when you have to travel overseas, you have to get so many different immune vaccines, because they're things that we have not been exposed to.
Yeah.
Like
Do you-
it's not a racial thing; it's a location thing.
Do you feel like we try too hard to prove ourselves to other people,
Yes.
to other
Um,
races?
I think that was one of the things in the past, but not really proving ourselves. I mean, I think it comes off like that because it often falls on deaf ears. But I just think it's just the people wanting to, or committed to just wanting to educate one another, even though that's not our responsibility. But I think the core of it comes from just trying to get it out there for people who may not know.
Yeah.
Does that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I mean, there might be some people, but overall, I think it comes from a place of, okay, well, maybe if we, show them this, then they'll understand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter, because they're going to see what they want to see. And it's like that deny thing, that deny, because before, like, you go, I don't see color. Well, that doesn't help me, because if a black man or a black woman driving down the street, that's all the cop sees. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't help the narrative. Although I understand what you're saying when you say it, but that doesn't help us. Them being an ally is what's going to help.
For me, like I don't. This is going to be the last thing because I know we're over our time. But when it comes to color and us being black in America, I do hope that we are able, like Tamara said, to be able to get past that. But it does come with trying to understand each other and trying to have, better conversations where we're not just one-sided, but everything is so polarized now on purpose, I believe, in the media. It's so difficult to get people to get on one side because everyone is being told such radical things on each side, and no one can. There's no voice in the news or in the media that's really actually trying to bring people together. No prominent voice that tries to bring people together for understanding, and that's the problem. So,
if there was, it would still probably be drowned out anyway. So.
Yeah, the loudest voices are the ones that are trying to keep people divided. So it's unfortunate, but that's where we are now. So hopefully we can get past that. But we thank you guys. I do definitely want to talk some more about this, but we're not going to try to keep the time going too long. We appreciate you guys hanging out. And thanks for being here for the roundup. If you have not hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit that share button, hit that like button. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We hope you have a great day. And thanks for joining the